next guest is the very funny host of the popular podcast, The Broski Report, as well as the YouTube series Royal Court. Let's take a look.
What sound or smell or sight would lure both of you in like a siren song? What's a beacon in the night for the both of you?
Like the siren song being something we couldn't resist?
Yes.
Or, I mean, it sounds, but like, you know, a crying baby is usually something you run towards.
Okay.
Whether it's yours or not, you know, you want to make sure the kid isn't in distress.
You're on the way.
I feel so bad about my answer.
Why? What is it?
Pizza.
Please welcome to the show, Brittany Broski, everyone. Welcome to the show, Brittany. How are you?
Oh, I am so excited to be here.
We're thrilled to have you.
Oh, thanks for having me.
What an incredibly novel idea you had back in 2023.
Yes.
To interview guests in sort of a makeshift castle.
100%.
And how did it first occur to you that this would be a good thing to do?
Have you ever been to medieval times?
So I'm glad you asked, because I know you have, and I have not. So keep going.
Oh, Seth.
I
We
know.
should go day drinking at medieval times.
I mean, I would imagine. I imagine the mead flows pretty, yeah.
When I'm around, the meat's flowing.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So, was it born of your love of medieval times?
It was.
Okay.
I really admire, you know, this kind of innovation of what Hot Ones is.
Yes.
Like, yeah, make them suffer and they'll be honest. That's genius.
Yes.
Mix that with, I love Game of Thrones. I love medieval times. This kind of like, and thank you.
Yeah.
I love this kind of whimsical, life is too short. So this idea of everything being extravagant and beautiful and ridiculous, like let's combine those two worlds. And it was almost like the more ridiculous the setting is, the more they'll lean in. So
Yeah.
it was kind of a
It's
homage.
very funny to watch Matt Damon wearing chainmail, giving a genuinely honest answer about
Yes.
like a father's, you know, instinct to go to
Yeah,
a crying
parental
baby.
instinct, absolutely.
Also, not a well-fitting chainmail on his head. You know what I mean? Like literally,
all.
no one has ever let him be in a thing that covers that much of his face.
No, yeah. You usually see more Damon than that.
Yeah.
We kinda
Every
honed in.
director before you was like, no, we got to see the whole moneymaker. And
Yeah.
you're like, nope, chainmail's the important thing.
100%. More of Anne, less of Matt.
You're
know
like,
what I
this
mean?
is historically accurate. When was the last time you went to medieval times?
Monday.
Okay.
Not a joke.
No. Is this from Monday?
That's from Monday. Yep.
Yeah, because when you said I'm gonna send a picture of the last time you were here, I did think it would be maybe you as a child.
Yeah, no.
And it's like, no, that's high res.
Yeah.
That camera's high res.
Haven't washed my hair since that photo, so yeah.
How would you, for people who haven't been,
Uh-huh.
is there a tip you would give them on their first trip to medieval times?
Absolutely, thank you for asking.
And now
the
you
thing.
do have to say if you're paid. Are you paid by medieval times?
Oh, God, no, of
Okay,
course
great.
not. So that's how you know I mean it.
Yeah.
The knights at medieval times, okay, they live for the cheers. And here's the thing. My dad took me when I was young for the first time, and I was like, oh, what is this? I watched a monster come out of my father cheering for the Blue Knight.
Really?
And I mean, like, banging the cup on the table, pick it up! Like, and it's this kind of fervor that I feel like only a middle-aged white dad can achieve.
Yeah.
So we took that. I was like, oh, that's how you're supposed to enjoy this. Now I've, of course, carried it on through my legacy. And my tip is, when the knights are in your section, flirt with them.
Oh, okay.
Give a little,
Great.
you know, and they give you your favor, or their favor, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't work there, I don't know.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
nobody expects you to know who gets the favor.
No, but there is an exchange.
Did the first time your dad, when he brought you, do you think he was bringing you because he thought you'd love it, or he was hoping he'd love it? Like, what was the?
It was probably a bit self-indulgent.
Yeah.
Totally. But it was ultimately a family bonding exercise.
I mean, obviously, it seems like a jackpot.
Yeah, and it was.
What age kid do you think is the right age for their first trip to medieval times?
A great question. 11.
Okay.
Yeah. You got to be old enough to know, like, what's going on.
Yeah.
But at the same time, not young enough to be like, I want to go home. Like, the
Yeah.
horses stink.
Yeah.
You gotta appreciate it.
You traveled around a lot as a kid.
I did.
Do you feel like somebody who's constantly going into a new school needs to develop a young sense of humor?
Abso-freaking-lutely.
Gotcha. And did you notice early on? Did your parents notice early on that this was a skill you had?
Yeah, they knew I had the like Jim Carrey bug.
Yeah.
It was like, how do I make this situation about me? Like at any time.
Gotcha.
As a child,
Gotcha.
it was. Yeah.
Were they a
very-
fan of that? Did they?
Yes.
They were fans of you, right?
Yeah, they kind of, played into it in an almost mean way. It was like, you gotta do a dance, And I was like, a dance. So,
That's nice to have parents who scream, "Do a dance."
yeah, you do something for us. And I was like, I've got 3 numbers prepared. What do you need? So they really, to this day, my parents are like my #1 supporters.
So exciting.
It's very sweet.
I know early on, early episodes of your show, you were, interviewing friends, and now obviously A-list stars.
We're doing Matt Damon now.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you also moved from, I guess originally it was in your bedroom, yes? Before you moved into a proper studio.
Yes, it was in my spare bedroom. We shot the first episode of Royal Court.
That's unbelievable.
It's ridiculous.
There must have been challenges involved in shooting Royal Court in a bedroom.
Yeah, what they don't tell you is you got to shut the AC off.
Right.
And, I'm the type of white where I turn red when I'm sweating.
Dude.
So
I mean, during the COVID, when I was doing the shows, and
you're at it.
that was, for real though, the AC thing was a killer.
yes. Yeah,
Because
yeah,
when it was hot up there, it was really hot up there.
yeah. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Do your kids understand what you do?
A little, yeah, they're getting there.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
They're almost at the age where they understand medieval times, so I think they
Okay.
clock.
Okay.
I had them as guests here, and I think that helped.
Okay, copy
Yeah,
that.
when they were like in front of an audience, they were like,
Pretty
oh.
immersive.
And they were like, oh, I see why Daddy likes being here.
I'm getting it.
Yeah, they're like, oh, right, people pay attention to you. Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes, yes, yes. Not that you only have the one show, you also have the Broski Report. Different look. But let me just compliment how great it is that you have a completely different look for your companion show.
And thank you. And you chose my Russian headpiece here
Yes.
that I.
Well, I love
Don't
it. I
know
love
why.
international news. So.
And that is what we cover. This is kind of the inspo for this was if Walter Cronkite was living as a gay man.
Yeah.
What would those design choices have been?
Gotcha.
So that's kind of what this is.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you find? Do you enjoy both shows equally?
Yeah, I do. They're both my children.
Yeah.
Royal Court is my baby, and it finally is like taking off in a way that is very exciting. At this intersection of pop culture on the internet and traditional Hollywood kind of meeting in the middle. And Broski Report is the ravings of a lunatic.
Yeah.
Alone in a room. I am the only one in that room. There's no producer. I'm hitting mic check 1 2.
Yeah, yeah.
It's me.
Nobody saw this and thought there was another person there.
Not once. Not once.
I'm gonna say this, I've met them over the years, I've done SNL with both of them, right? So a couple weeks ago, Matt Damon was here, Anne Hathaway was here, and I'm friendly with them. I still get a little nervous talking to people whose work I respect that much.
That makes me feel better, by the way.
Well, I was gonna ask, you seem so comfortable with the time you have with these people. Do you feel like putting on all the actually framing yourself as royalty? Do you
Yeah.
feel like that helps you get over what anxiety might be there in interviewing people?
I've never thought about it that way, but yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, kind of.
That's why I watched. I'm like, God, this is so smart. It's the same thing with
you.
Sean and Hot Ones. It's like, oh, he has all this status because he's torturing us.
Exactly. He is the perpetrator.
Yeah.
So I do think there's a sense of accountability of I'm in charge of the vibe. I'm the
Yeah.
vibe coordinator.
Yeah.
So I can't be like, Matt Damon, are you? I don't know.
Right.
And then I my pants. I
Yeah.
don't know. I can't do that.
You wouldn't watch Game of Thrones if a queen acted that way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think you bring a lot of authenticity to your royalty.
you.
It's a really wonderful show to watch, and congratulations on everything. I'm so happy you made time to come visit us. Guys, this is Brittany Broski, everybody. Royal Court is streaming on YouTube. We'll be right back.